Hello. I'm a person, and this is Cow Children. Why not put Cow Children on stage? I was asked. No, thank you. The very prospect gives me the willies. Live performance in front of an audience is something I fear, and in the real world it has at last been criminalized. Here, though, is a tale about a Cow Children play. Guns. Cow pokes, cow folks, every kind of cow children, cowgirls, cowboys, any non-binary, cow gals, cow pals, hoping no brigands will kill them, cow kin, cow skin, whatever cow you be. All cow children, every afflicted pilgrim, countless millions, any demography. Cow pokes, cow folks, every kind of cow children, cow kin, cow skin, whatever cow you be.
Howdy, are you Rexalyn Jameson?
You can call me Rex. Come on in, I got your note.
Sorry I'm late, it's all this weather.
Please, come through to my study.
I'm Wendy, by the way, Wendy Gwennan.
Yes, I got your letter about the play.
I've got a lot of notes here, lots of bits and pieces. Do you mind if I put them on this table?
A lot of these look blank.
Oh, we're going to change that very soon. The manuscript is something of a work in progress. How much do you know about the shootout?
This is the one from last week in Duncrambo, yes? To be honest, the news reached us just before you did.
It was terrible. Longest gunfight I've known. Bloodiest. Most of the victims didn't even know each other, so you know there'll be a lot of mourners. A huge body count, really.
How many people actually died?
More than 20.
Well, you were there, weren't you? So you should know the actual figure. I like to be able to inspire the audience's confidence.
They're saying 20, but I know it was 25. Almost 26. But if the news is still hazy, if folk out here don't know the actual number, we can tell them with the play, can't we? See, they'll come here to find out the truth, not just to see things that they already know. I want this to be more than just an illustration.
I can see that. I will need to know the specifics of the play, though. It's our stage, and I need to approve things that are put on here.
Yes, I was told I might need to jump through a few hoops to get through the gate. A mixed metaphor there, but you know how it goes.
I'm not trying to make this difficult for you. Heavens knows I'm not especially censorious.
Eh?
I'm not really a gatekeeper. I want these things to get out there, in front of the public. I just need to know you're not going to burn the place down or get us in legal trouble.
I can't make any promises. Wait, I can make those two promises. Sorry, I'm keen to make this as bold and as exciting as I can, but I do want to get it staged.
Can you give me a general overview of the play? Your note was a bit difficult to parse.
Right, it's an avant-garde take on a real-world tragedy. A very recent one, a bloody gunfight. Lots of atmosphere, lots of monologues and moments, and I want it to rock the audience to their foundations. It's a play about who the victims were before the shootout. I'm calling it They, Being Dead Yet Speaketh.
Okay. This has potential.
That's the long title. I want it to be evocative. They being dead yet speaketh. Brackets or, comma, guns. Close brackets.
Guns! That's very direct.
Yeah, because forewarned is forearmed. There are going to be real guns in this, and I don't want the audience to get a shock.
I thought that was exactly what you wanted.
I want them to have an existential crisis and contemplate their mortality. I don't want them to soil themselves in the short term. Cheap thrills get forgotten on the horse home.
When you say real guns, with trick bullets, I assume, some sort of caps or blanks?
I'd like to use real bullets, actually, but I'm not wedded to the idea.
I think that's frowned upon, even out west.
I wasn't planning to have them fired at people. The show opens up in pitch darkness, and suddenly there's 90 seconds of guns going off. No light but the sparks flying from the bullet chambers.
Well, I like the concept, but as well as being dangerous, that is a long time to sit listening to bang bang bang, bang bang, bang bang, bang 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 bang, kapow bang. See, that was less than 10 seconds.
I want to drive the point home. I want the audience to really feel it.
I do appreciate that. Could you run me over the long version of the title again? The more poetic one, because I'd like to check a detail.
They being dead yet speaketh.
Yes, that's not right, is it? Speaketh.
I think it is.
They speak, surely, because the verb goes speak, speaks, speaketh, speak, 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 doesn't it? Speaketh is third person singular.
Oh, I see. Well, it's a singular they.
Right, okay. That's fine then. I'd just like to make sure everything's deliberate. My one aim for the theatre and life is to make my choices deliberately, rather than by default.
I like that. Being deliberate. Don't you find that makes you horribly assertive?
No! Or, I hope not. It's not my way or the highway. It's, I choose whether I'm going to agree with you or not. I make a conscious choice to say yes or no or maybe.
Ah, that makes sense. I think everyone does that a bit. Sorry, I'm not meaning to critique your philosophy. I'm sure it's valid as heck. Sorry. Is it possible I could have some coffee?
I'll brew some and bring it into the parlour. There's more light in there.
Nice paintings. Did you do them?
I did, actually. These 3. I haven't done any in a while.
You ought. These are good.
I probably ought. When I was growing up, I wanted to be an artist or a storyteller, but I spent most of my time handling 900 head of cattle. I had to seize my moments to paint. Now I'm out of the farming life, I have the time in theory, but it has a way of filling itself up.
You are running a theatre, though. That's got to be a satisfying job.
It's not a job, I don't do it to pay the bills. Petras always says it's an expensive hobby.
Is that your...
My husband, yes.
Should I be worried about him?
No.
He's very widely known.
I know, and I know what for. He's quite happy to support the theatre, and won't make any trouble for you if you don't make any for him.
I wasn't planning to.
Good. What brought you to this theatre? You've travelled quite a way to pick it.
It's the audiences. You get so many tourists here, people who don't really know the West. I want them to know it.
Same.
And honestly, my play isn't political, or it's universal, but it is about a specific...
You don't need to defend it. I'm happy to move on.
I'm sure Petras Jameson had nothing to do with the shootout.
So am I. And to be honest, I don't appreciate the suggestion. Besides, he hasn't left town in most of a month.
No, I'm sure. Sorry, I just had one of those twinges. Just a bit shaky, not really a morning person.
Coffee's about ready. Any milk?
Do you have any goat milk?
I've tried, but it was horrible, so we just have the usual.
It's worth another try, but I do know what you mean.
Strikingly goaty.
Are these sugar lumps?
Help yourself.
Should we go back to the study if it's more business talk, or stay through here?
I try and keep them separate, but we've gone and done it now.
Okay then, guns!
You said there was firing at the start, and then monologues.
And some dialogues. Comments I found about the shooters and the shootees. There were a lot of people in both categories. And a few things that they wrote themselves. I'd already been interviewing some of them about a different gunfight, so I had a few notes already.
It sounds like you were really ready for this.
Horribly ready.
And more guns at the end, presumably.
No. If you meet all the characters and then see them die, that's just schlock. That's story. I want all the death at the front end. The rest of the night is a haunting. More and more so. I want the visions to deteriorate as the night goes on. I don't want the audience waiting to experience the big moment. I want that out of the way so they have to think about it. You'll see. I've got the first few monologues written out already.
Mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. The actors will be well rehearsed on the first round of victims, but in the middle I'm giving them scripts backstage to glimpse over for a few seconds, and then go out and wrestle with. I had a nightmare once where I had to act without preparation, and I want to bring that to life.
I'm not entirely sure how that'll look.
Uncomfortable, I hope. I want to make the audience's toes curl up. I have a plan, if you're conducive, to release a low level of steamed lod into the audience, just enough to disorientate.
Wait, no, that's a poison, isn't it?
That's why I'm looking at quite a low level. Nobody's going to be imbibing it, just a few wafts. It's like alcohol, just less festive. I promise no one will get sick.
Nuh-uh. I can't okay anything that's likely to lead to death.
I don't know about likely, but I get it. Right. Well, I had envisaged the actors under its influence as well, struggling to read the last of the victims' statements from cue cards in the low light. And then at the end, we bring up the lights and go for a j'accuse against the audience.
J'accusing them of what?
I'm not quite sure of the details of that, but surviving is the gist of it. Being so safe. They could have found their own names and biographies in the show. It's vague, but I'm going to have something rock solid by the performance. I know that's only a few days from now, but I want that sort of fragile intensity, nothing over-rehearsed.
Are you bringing your own actors, or...?
Can I use some of your repertory company?
We have a rep of 9. No, 8 at the moment. But they might not like the short notice, or the rest of it.
That's okay. I wouldn't want them too comfy. The script's going to be actor-proof. I just want a bit of humanity.
It's a bit unlike our usual fare, but I can see the topical news aspect bringing in quite a full audience. How many nights do you see it running?
One fateful one, but I'm willing to compromise. And I know a printer who can produce posters in 2 colours, so obviously I'm thinking black and red. Something to catch the eye.
We can actually do as many colours as you want, in-house.
Oh, that's good. I think 2 is enough though, but it sounds like you're way ahead of what I'm used to technology-wise.
If you're staging it next Friday, we should get those up pronto and send out notices to the cities.
Does that mean it's all clear?
I'll have a look through the manuscript once it exists, but I can hold off the classic play another few days and fit you in on the Friday. Friday and 2 on Saturday would be ideal if you really want to reach the crowd.
I'll think about it. I don't like matinees.
Don't think about it. Tell me now. The rider goes from the post office at noon, so time is of the essence.
All right, Friday, Saturday.
Is this your salad with eggs?
Yeah,
My name is Petras. Petras Jameson.
Yeah, I recognised you from the paintings in your house.
Those aren't me. Those are all paintings of my father, Kairos.
Oh,
I'm just joking. Wouldn't have pictures of that wanker. Now, I hear you've been talking to my wife.
Yes, about the play. I'm happy to make a few changes if needed.
Live guns? Live ammunition? My Rexy seemed worried you might be out for blood. And steams of lod. That's a bit fancy.
I've already told her we can find another way of doing the guns. I'm just here to tell a story about the people who died and the people who didn't.
Were you there for it? Were you? The gunfight?
I was close enough to know what went down. Have you ever been near a gunfight?
I've been in 'em, love. You seem to know your onions. You gotta know, I've seen some violence in my time. You see this scar on my wrist, and this one on my neck, and this one here? There are more I won't show. I make a big target, but I've always come through alive, so far.
Are you here to ask me to change the play, or to tell me it's off? I know you're trying to intimidate me.
Tell the truth, I came here to see if I recognised you. There are folk out there who have a problem with me, and so they come to my wife and make trouble for her. And that is out of bounds. Tell me you're not one of them.
I just want to put this story in front of an audience.
Audiences everywhere, love. Why come here?
I was really upset by what I saw in that town and what I learned afterwards. I only knew 1 or 2 of the victims when it happened, but I got to know them all after it was too late. And the survivors, the armed survivors and the witnesses. It's stupidly obvious to say it, but they were all just people carrying on their lives, until they suddenly weren't. Good people died and bad people lived. Bad people died and good people lived. And neutral people did both. There was no justice to it. I know there's never justice to anything in life, least of all in the West, but all the stories I ever read told me that good could somehow prosper. Tragedy happens, but hot revenge follows. But there was no revenge to come. The victors left to live their lives, got away with everything. The dead were just dead. I was left asking, was it just random chance who made it through? The chance of me surviving at all was so small, but I did. I was right in the thick of it, and it made me angry. Not at the killers, not at the deaths. I was angry with myself. I have done nothing to distinguish myself, never saved anybody. By what right did I crawl out with my life and soul intact? I was enraged at myself.
Are you trying to make me feel guilty or something? Is this some kind of blame game? I don't know a thing about that massacre. Why bring this story here?
I want the audience to hear the gunfire, to see and hear each and every person. I want them to bear witness and see the horror of it all and what a dull fact death and survival is. And then I'll list the names of the dead and of the survivors, the witnesses, and I'll walk among the audience and say, now you have encountered this tragedy. Your name is among the witnesses. Why are you all still alive? What have you, dear audience, ever done to earn your protection while all these people died?
You haven't answered my question.
Because this is where people from the cities come on vacation. You know what this town is for. It's a safe taste of the West. This audience will fill up with comfortable folk who could travel out here and see this tragedy for entertainment. They've crossed the border, and that makes them accountable for everything that happens here. I want to make them uncomfortable. I want to hold them to account. I want them to think about what life is worth, and to think about how they could die any time so easily. Nobody thinks enough about their own mortality, and the people who take genteel tours to this glossy, shallow sham of a frontier town think about theirs least of all. You're right. With live guns, we could just turn them on the audience and send them to meet their maker, but not one of them would learn a thing from it. I want them to come out and think about their deaths while they're still alive and take the story home.
Oh dear, Miss Wendy. It sounds like you still believe in the power of theatre.
They will take notice. We're going to touch their hearts.
We thought you were here for revenge or something.
I don't believe in revenge. I wish I did. You can scoff all you want.
I can, 'cause I'm the one paying for all this. Honestly, The things my Rex spends my money on.
You're going to have a full audience. This shouldn't cost you a penny.
It sounds like a saleable show, I'll give it that. But everybody thinks they're about to change the world here, and it's just vanity, every time. Don't you worry, I'm not holding it against Rexy. Some wives like to spend a lot of money on their jewels and pearls, which would make them happy and let everyone know who it is that keeps the money flowing in this town. But I've got Rex, and she spends money on theatre for the people. See, she's got the beauty and the heart, and it keeps her happy, and it still shows the world who's boss. Guess I like to joke about this being a drain on the wallet, but it's an investment, as much as fancy jewels would be.
I'm sure Rex doesn't think of this as a vanity.
She likes to do some good out here, and we can all appreciate it. Gives her somewhere to exercise her conscience. You would not believe how guilty folks with a conscience can get when they're living the comfy life. Luckily, I'm a practical man, so I'm immune. I think I'll leave you to your egg salad.
It'll probably be cold by now.
It's a salad. I'll see you at the show.
One thing I ought to say. Did you know John Ben Halmy? Sometimes went by Johnny Heyman.
Johnny Ben Halmy? Once upon a time I did. I tried to have him killed once. Never happened in the end. Let me guess. Is he on the list of the dead, is he?
I couldn't find out a lot about him.
Well, we weren't close. Don't let it trouble you.
Come in. I'll get us some coffee.
Do you have tea? Sorry, I had a dream last night that there was another gunfight. Larger and closer and 26 deaths. I mean, any shootout is pretty bad, but the one in my dream gazumped us.
People aren't going to dismiss the play just because it isn't the latest gunfight. People are shot every day.
I know. It was just a dream, and a selfish one. No, I'm confident about how this is coming together, and even if worse happens between now and tomorrow night, no one will have time to write a whole play about it.
We've sold out the stalls already. We just have 15 seats in the balcony to sell.
Will you be there?
We got one of the boxes. It's good to be seen.
Are you all right? You keep narrowing your eyes about something.
It was a rough night last night. I was up late looking at the script.
Sorry, I have a few more revisions to that. Were you wanting to make changes?
I've already said I'm not going to demand any cuts.
No demands needed. I can be quite pliable.
There was one bit. I think the horse showman monologue is in there twice.
Yes, that's deliberate. Mary Tenney had the best horse trick show in the West, but Dick Devlin copied it note for note. They were both at Dumb Crambo in the shootout, and I've been trying to find out if that was the reason why they were involved, or it's just coincidence and that he copied her fate.
Did they shoot each other?
He didn't shoot anyone, and she only shot John Sarwell Seamus. And if you draw a map of who shot who, they're in completely different spirals that don't seem to cross over at all. I thought I'd already put this in the narration, but I'll take another look at that.
You probably did. It's probably there. I was pretty tired, and much as I tried to give it my full attention. Oh, one other thing I didn't get. After we hear from each character,
Each ghost.
the narrator says who they are, how they died, and gives their kill count.
Yeah,
But they all say kill count 1. Didn't anyone have multiple victims?
that's not how many times they killed, it's how many times they were killed. So once each. That number's more interesting, I think.
Right. Do you think the audience will get that?
It'll click eventually.
Good. I'm sure it'll play more smoothly than it read. Like I say, I was tired and het up, so my mind wasn't completely on it. I need to read it over again.
Is this what happens with the power of the theatre? Or is something else going on?
Don't worry, you're not the reason for my tossing and turning. I think it's just narcissism on my part. Reading all these little monologues, biographies and cameos of lives, I got wrapped up, mentally penning my own elegy.
You run a theatre and help struggling playwrights find their audience. And give a lot of actors a leg up too. You'll be lauded when and if you do eventually die.
Yes. I've made myself very easy to praise like that, but sometimes it sticks in my craw. I got lucky when I married Petras. Everybody knows that Match was his choice, and he tells me 9 times a night that I bring the beauty and he brings the capital, and it's true. So anything I fund, he's funding really. His cash money. I like to think I make better artistic decisions than he would, because I'm not entirely without talent in this industry. But if I say I'm more charitable, I'm lying to myself. He's the benefactor. I'm just the faucet.
You're doing great work. Without you, the money would just be sitting under a mattress or locked in a vault somewhere. And you're taking a risk on my show.
Financially, I'm not, though. Tickets are selling out.
But artistically, it's a big chance, because the audience are going to hate it.
What? I really don't think they are. Audiences will clap at anything.
I don't want to do down my own play. I am rather happy with the script so far, but you're putting on something uncomfortable and unfamiliar, and it's going to challenge them.
I just don't think it is. Audiences don't really react to things, except in the moment.
My script gave you a sleepless night because you were thinking about your legacy.
Don't flatter yourself, Wendy. If I don't sleep, it's because I don't have what you have.
What's that?
You're full of ideas and full of conviction.
And you're allowed to say no to it, or yes to it, and you do it deliberately. You have conviction too. Total freedom.
I know what people say. That I gave up my credibility when I married into wealth. I chose this. And I know you can see that, asking about the paintings and my so-called deliberate choices and waving this play full of obituaries and memorials in front of me.
This play isn't bloody well about you, and it isn't about Petras, though I know he's shot enough people in his time. This is a play about my anger. I was there, and I survived it, and it made me sick.
Well, I'm here too, and I'm surviving. I'm thriving. I used to be busy every minute. I longed for this, for the easy life, being an artist, giving people the nod. You're right. If I couldn't sleep, it's the play. It's the power of the theatre. I'm sure it'll be a roaring success.
Is that tea still brewing?
I'll pour it out.
Into the cups, right? Not down the drain?
No, not down the drain. We both need this today.
I get horrible stage fright, and I think it's starting to set in, so if I start to get crabby...
Don't worry about it. What's in today's revisions?
It's not so much revisions as just more.
How is that possible? I thought you'd written about everyone.
I remembered a couple more deaths, and I remembered that I was there, so I ought to include myself. I don't know if I should be the one to play myself, though.
I talked to Petras, and there's no way you can have live guns on the stage.
I know. I knew there wouldn't be.
It's not that he's paranoid, he's just sensible. Business acumen. I know he talked to you a few days back.
He put the pressure on me and I cracked like an egg. In a good way. I told him what's what, and he understood.
You told him you came here for the audience.
Holidaymakers, a lot of them.
If your plan is to make him examine his life, theatre isn't going to cut it. He's a blunt man, hard-handed. You can't wound him with words, and if you try to, he'll break your back.
This play isn't about him. And if he knows any of the characters, that's coincidence. Sad coincidence. Just the circles he moves in. I'm here for the stage, you'll see.
I am intrigued to see it, and to watch the audience.
I know. That's what boxes are for, right?
Right!
Rexy, there you are.
Just wishing the cast well.
I hope you told them good luck from me.
It's bad luck to say good luck.
I know. By my watch, they're late getting the curtain up.
If you attended a bit more often, you'd know it generally is. Especially on a first night, it builds anticipation.
You check the guns?
The guns are fake, the bullets are fake, and there are 2 armed guards on the stage door, Jack and Trevor. And I see Kate's here with us, so you can afford to drop the paranoia.
I place a lot of value on your safety.
Oh, I asked Wendy.
Uh-huh.
And her original plan with the guns was to fire live rounds into a kind of cooking pot or cauldron to catch the bullets.
They would have bounced. She would have died.
Yeah. She had too much faith in the deadening powers of cast iron. I'm getting proxy stage fright now. I've been tense about this show all week.
What's to worry about? It's a sellout and there are no refunds. Anything good in the show is a bonus.
Shh. It's getting dark.
Pitch dark.
Ouch.
Kate, strike a match.
They being dead yet speaketh. Or guns.
These guns sound like crap. No, I've had enough of this already. I'm off to relieve my boredom.
No, stay here. Just pay attention.
This better be worth it.
His whole short life in that small town and
How
had to
much
die
more
there.
is there?
Shush!
Alex
There are
McVeigh,
25
29.
dead, so we must be
Kill
nearly
count
through.
1. Shot and fell. Wendy Gwennan. I spoke to
That's
the
not
surviving
Wendy.
few.
She said she
The
might not play
witnesses.
herself.
Huh.
Those lucky and left behind, their luck would not hold. I took interviews, took down truths and stories. I should have seen what lay ahead. Wendy Gwennan, age 32, Kill count 1.
Kill count
Shot
1?
in the Oxter by
Doesn't
Mary
make
Kennedy.
sense.
No, that's
Led
not
out
how many
in
people
half
she
an
killed.
hour.
It's
Raised to believe that
Wendy
adherents
Gwennan
and
died at the
families
shootout.
count anything.
Then who have you been talking to all week?
Wendy left one more legacy.
Oh crap, what's this?
Wendy writes, "You have seen how many people die and seen it for entertainment. While you watched, your horses have been taken and your rooms
that?
ransacked.
Somebody
By now,
stop that
she
woman!
is escaping on the
Help,
last
Petras!
bus
Are we
standing."
safe?
The safe! Hey, right, go check the safe in the room. This was never about you and me, Rix. It was about the money. This wasn't revenge. It was robbery. Let me through.
They've taken everything!
Row!
After her! Before she gets away!
Too late for that!
So long, suckers.
After her!
On what? The horses have all gone!
God haunt that woman and all her distractions.
She seemed really upset and angry about the gunfight.
She pulled the wool all over you.
She said this was for you.
Dear Rex, the horror of the gunfight gave me the perfect pretext to carry out the robbery my gang had planned. Johnny Heyman sends his regards.
I'm gonna find that woman and make her sorry she ever rode east.
P.S. Sorry if this gets you in trouble, Rex. Maybe you can...
Maybe you can buy your way out.
Get after her. You have to track her
Better
down
hope I
and...
do, or this is on you and your theatre. Come on, there's another stable by the north gate.
Her play made a difference.
Crap on that idea. She could have given us dancing bears and pulled the same ploy.
It made a difference to me.
What? I'm shot! Wretch, you filthy!
It made a difference to me.
Cowpokes, cow folks, every kind of cow children, cow.
That was Cow Children, They Being Dead Yet Speaketh, by Ben Swithen. It starred Natalie Ashton as Wendy, Rose Garratt as Rex Jameson, and Tom Hagley as Petras. Cow Children will return.
Whatever cow you be.
It's nearly the middle of May, so here are some Halloween jokes. What do you call a vampiric mountain? Mount Dracula. What do you call someone who Dracules? Dracula. What do you call someone who spooktacules? Spooktacular. No, an optician.